Hello, Happy New Year. Welcome to Motion North. It's our 40th and our 4th online event. Hope everybody's coping all right. I'm Johnny. I run Mighty Giants. We're a motion design agency in Manchester in the UK. And I also run this Motion North event, which, as with all things, increasingly online, but thankfully allows us to sort of like broaden the amount of people that we have. And as you'll see tonight, sort of like broadens the scope of the speakers that we can have coming from across the globe. First up, we will introduce you to our sponsors, who you've met AJ before, who is from AO, and tonight we're bringing Nicola in as well to say hello. And how are you guys?
Good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, yes. So nice to have you here, Nicola.
Thanks very much for having me.
You're welcome. And how's AO? How are you getting on at the moment? How's your New Year been?
Super duper busy. It's been hectic. Obviously, we keep hearing this new phrase, the new norm, which has been a crazy one over the peak period, but we've loved every minute of it and we're really happy with what we've been producing. So it's great to be back, and we're really glad to be sponsoring Motion North again this year. We've been really busy doing lots of great things with our new rebrand. We've put a lot of hard work into it, and it's something we're all very proud of. So do check out our website because it looks amazing. We are still in the midst of COVID, which has meant big changes for everyone. For us at AO, we've played a big part in supplying people with essential items during the pandemic, but alongside that, we've been producing content for all sorts of channels. We've ramped up our TV and digital activity, so hopefully some of you may have caught an ad or two over Christmas, as well as supporting our operations in Germany, which is really exciting thing for all of us. So aside from big TV ad campaigns, our guys have still been creating some really amazing animations, which you'll see in Mode. So yeah, super busy.
And I've seen lots of been producing some lovely content about the rebrand as well, which I've seen around the place, especially on your LinkedIn feed, Carl. So,
it's going to be quiet just before and after Christmas, just because of how crazy it's been, my LinkedIn feed. But we work with Design Studio. It's looking amazing. It's so much fun to play with. We've got 3D visual identity, 2D visual identity. It just gives us loads of scope. So obviously, as you can imagine, that's a lot of fun as a motion designer to play with. So Nicola just mentioned Mode. So really quickly, I'll just jump on the back of that. So on the success of our Christmas entry of everything, we're going to relaunch Mode. I don't think we're going to make the mistake of doing it over Christmas again, because maybe people have got other things going on. It's given us the opportunity to kind of just relaunch it a bit. So the theme for the last one was cold. We're going to kind of we'll send out anything that we did get, but we're going to relaunch it. We've got a new theme for the next one, which we'll showcase at the next Motion North, and our theme is health. Obviously, something that is of primary concern for all of us at the minute, making sure you're staying physically healthy, mentally healthy, emotionally healthy. Obviously, we're living in weird times. So that's health. Why I'm calling it... Oh, sorry, go on.
Carl, I think you broke up there. So this is a competition we've run a couple of times now, isn't it? Where people can send in a short clip, an animation, motion piece based on that topic, isn't it?
Yeah, so it can be anything you want, done any way you want. It's very kind of purposely vague, I guess. The only stipulation is you can't go over 10 seconds, and you can be static if you want to. The reason why I'm calling it a relaunch this time is because we are able to offer a prize going forward. So what we are going to do is Mighty Giant and AO are going to go through the entries. We'll showcase everybody, but we'll choose a winner, and that winner will either get If you prefer something Cinema 4D based, HDRI Studio Rig from Grayscale Gorilla, or if you prefer something a little bit more After Effects based, then we're going to say basically the full suite of Battle Axe plugins. So that's Time Lord, which is great for Photoshop, Overlord, which is great for Illustrator, and then Rubber Hose, which I'm sure you all know. So, and if you've already got both of those, but you're awesome, and I'm sure we can come to some kind of arrangement anyway. So yeah, get involved. Johnny's put the link underneath, or you can enter with the hashtag Mode Challenge on Instagram or Twitter.
We'll follow up with that afterwards. But I mean, that is very exciting. We've never had a prize before, so thank you for that. So, offering prizes, 2021. So it's all good. So.
It's just got better.
It is, yeah. We've peaked, I think. But, thank you very much. I'm going to kick you out if you don't mind, but thank you for joining us, because we're going to crack on. And thanks again for your support.
No Thanks problem. A lot.
See you in a bit.
Right, we'll crack straight on. Wednesday Studio. So welcome to Iria and Danny.
Hello.
Hello.
We're good, well? Thank you. Yeah.
Good. And where are you guys today?
So I'm at home in Kingston.
Yeah. I'm at our studio in Hackney Wick.
Very, very good. And how's the start of your year been?
It's been good. Like busy with live admin.
Yeah. It's been good. Well, considering.
I know.
Bit chaotic. We're in a self-isolation now. So.
Yeah. Oh, you are. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to cheer people up with bright, colourful things and not too much COVID. So let's dive straight in, and let's get your showreel up and introduce Wednesday Studio. There you go. Great stuff. Beautiful work there. Joining us tonight as well, we've got the guys from Lobster Studio. So welcome to Fausto. And,
hi everyone.
And Nikolai. So how are we doing? Nikolai,
good,
you're on
great.
mute. Let me unmute you. So Nikolai, are you muting?
Yeah,
there we go.
Okay.
We got him. It's normally me that mutes. I normally start this on mute. How are you guys? Everything okay?
Yeah, all great here.
Fine.
Good. Again, Fausto, just give us a little. Where are you joining us from? Because we're spread across the world tonight.
Here from the studio in Italy, and Nick is. We have two studios that are one in Italy and one in Bulgaria.
Yeah, Sofia. Actually, I'm in the studio as well now.
Yeah.
So you're actually in work. You're not at home.
Not at home.
Very good. That might catch on, having offices. Right, I'm going to tee up with your showreel, and then we'll find out a bit more about you. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
So if people haven't joined us before, what we'll do now is we're going to sort of break off into a couple of little sort of behind the scenes talks. I think we're going to start off with the guys from Lobster Studio. They're going to show us a little bit about some of their projects. And then we're going to get Iria and Danny to come in after that and talk us through some of their work. We're on various platforms tonight, so if you can, I know it definitely can with YouTube, if you can, in the comments section, if you've got any questions, please pop them in there, because I can pick them up here, and then we'll get everyone back together at the end, and we'll have a bit of Q&A and a bit of chat about what we've been seeing. So, right, I'm going to say goodbye for now to Danny and Iria, and we'll stick you back in the waiting room. And if you guys want to tee up your presentation.
Yep.
And
okay.
then get that ready to go, and then we can have a look at some of your stuff.
Okay.
Here we are. So I think we're in.
So, hi to everyone. We're Lobster. I'm Nick and Fausto. We're the guys that started Lobster some time ago. And now we're going to present to you some of our work, project that we developed last year. And before that, just a couple of words that to present our brand. And it's lobster. And the first thing that many people imagine when they hear lobster is something tasty and just a delicious dish that is already something good, because they imagine something with taste, and then it's a cool thing, because we always like to give some taste to the work we create. And actually, if we go to our Instagram, and the most common thing that people tag us for is usually some dishes and some really interesting places that are all super like strange for us in the start, but then we started to like them, because they're like totally different from some nice dish to some apparel to that big amazing crab that is somewhere in the world. Then we enjoy that, but we mostly like to imagine ourselves like funny lobsters that enjoy dancing, doing something funny, and just having fun doing the work that we create in the studio. Then I think mostly is all about the joy of the work and creating a good thing. Then we would like to...
what we want to share tonight together with you is a bit of the best stage of one of the latest projects that we created last year, that is the Crooked collection. During the year, we love to, aside of the commercial project that is our daily work, we love to go deeper and research and even push us to new boundaries, to experiment. We try each year to have a couple of projects at least that give us that freedom to even give us the luxury to make mistake, and from that mistake find new visual experimentation or use new tools. And Crooked was one of this project where we wanted to create something new. And then with the Crooked collection, we wanted to go out of the digital world and not to remain only on what is our comfort zone, that is to live on screen, to live on the web and create social campaign or commercial and advertisement. But we wanted to take our characters, to take a volume, to become something that you can touch, you can feel, you can experiment in the real world. And then we started to research and put together a mood board that wanted to imagine already our characters became something that was in the middle of the elegance of a ceramic sculpture with a glossy finishment, and something that was really more friendly and crafty and handmade, as a plasticine puppet, for example. But we wanted to find the right compromise where our creation and our animation and all that extreme deformation, fun emotion could meet the elegance of a sculpture that can live in an art gallery, for example. Then we already with that in mind, we was already thrilled and think, yeah, we have to do that. We have to find how to achieve, even if we come from in our, I think, almost this end of the study and our start to working in the advertising world. We started from a 3D roots. We really never have done a commercial project in 3D, but we can already like figure something that could take that shapes that we was imagining, like a clean geometric shape, but with a nice touch of handcraft. And before to go on with the backstage of what we will share tonight together with you, we want to share the first teaser that we created to already give to you an idea of what was the come out of the project.
Okay, so on that first stage, we decided to start with just sketching some ideas. We had some idea about the characters and what they would like, what they would have to do. What we wanted to create is something really simple, but in the same time, we wanted to add some feeling and some emotion to the movement of all these characters, because the idea behind the project was even we set some boundaries, and one of them was to create animation with less frames possible, because we wanted to translate all that different characters and all of their different frames of the animation into the 3D world, because we had some ideas that we wanted to develop with the project and we didn't want to stay on the 2D. As Fausto said earlier.
And even I think the original idea, at least, was that each one of that frames even became a real statue in the real world.
Yep. Then on that stage, we started experimenting and we played a lot with them till we decided that we have achieved the right balance and we have the animation that we think represent what we wanted to show with that different characters. And then we moved to experiment and test the color of them. Then the next stage was where we created that we can say animatics, but they were already like the 2D animated version of the final statues, where we explored and tested how they would work with that few colors and the simple shapes, and all these like loopable, simple, but very expressive movements. And after we were pretty happy with that, we decided that it's the time to move on and see how they would appear into the 3D world. So these are some of them already being translated into the 3D. And you can see that they remain with the same aesthetics of the flat color, and they almost can feel like flat animation, but they are already in that 3D world where we really wanted to create something that can be physical, and later on we can create that real statues that would become part of something that we had planned for after that. Then
and then arrived to that level of detail and a refinement of the material and the look. We was already like super happy even to be arrived to that level that, okay, we understood that what we have done till now in a 2D flat world can maintain his look, can live and can exist in a world that have volume, that have lights, that have true materials. And finally, we was already like feel comfortable with that. And then we was ready to each one of this character of that statue, that each one was expressing a feeling, represent an emotion. to put all together under a name inside a collection that we was ready to pitch to galleries, to art galleries, and take around in an exhibition. And we defined them under the name of Crooked Collection, especially because all the feeling that they were representing, and their attitude, their character was especially something that was not pretty straight. Then there was each one a bit weird with a strange motion, and then we defined the name of Crooked, and we create that logo for the collection. Then what we was now was, okay, that is the collection. I was ready with that. And then, yeah, finally, here, all was ready, was defined. Each character was created, have its shape, its look. What maybe we not being like yet so clear was that the characters needed to become real statue. We thought in the start to 3D print them, but when we arrived to that point, we was so satisfied with the aesthetic that was created for the project, and we not wanted to go with the traditional 3D plastic because we not want like to connect that project with and that waste to the world.
Yeah.
Use plastic. Then we started to research with different materials, and we contacted different artisans. We was ready to create this each one of the characters in ceramics and metals, and we have done the first connection with art galleries to set the exhibition in a series of different cities. Okay, we are ready with that to go
Everything.
create them, and we were thrilled to see, but then pandemic happened. Okay. Then maybe we have to rethink something. Maybe we not go in the production of all this statue. Maybe hold down for one moment. Even if it was something that anyway we want to translate in that direction, we thought that for the studio was better, like to hold down for a moment, think of that. But
anyway, I think even the purpose of that exhibition is to show something to the world and to show the work that you have created, to evoke that emotions that it would create. And then after we were in that moment, we had to rethink how we can achieve that. Then we got that next idea that would be really cool, because it was all about experimentation, and that project was all about that. We wanted to test something different that we have never done before. Then we decided, okay, maybe we can translate them into the AR world. And this is what we did. We added them to our Instagram profile, and they're still living there. And the cool thing about that was that they can now be anywhere in the world, and we would have not to be restricted by any walls or room. Then we could just use them and have people interact with them and just place them in different places, make them tiny or make them giant, and just play for fun. Then even in some way, that thing helped us to make that even more engaging. Even that we are still not we still would like to create that exhibition, but under the circumstances and given that COVID situation, we would have to wait a bit more. But we didn't give up that idea. But we think that this AR world surely added to the whole picture, and we're really happy to have done that, because we have seen many shares. We have seen many people that tag us in really funny places and funny situations with that different characters. Then even if you want to do that, feel free to do it.
And even was a nice occasion for us to feel and see our characters around the world, and
Yeah.
have a chance to, let's
Travel.
say, to travel. Exactly.
Yeah, even because for all of us that plans changed after that pandemic started, then I think this was a really cool occasion to explore the world into the virtual, at least the virtual world. Then overall, we managed to still create that kind of exhibition for that project, but hopefully we would be able to create it even for the physical world, and we would be able to create that little statues, because
No, yeah, that I think definitely we have to do, but it's
Yeah.
only postponed.
yeah, let's see. Let's hope it's soon.
Yeah.
And overall, the project was all about creating something different, getting out of the comfort zone, overcoming our boundaries, and doing something that scares us. Then not even scaring the world in the bad way, but scare us to even think about something how to achieve something that we did never create before. And that's something that stimulates us a lot.
Yeah, more challenge and inspire us than maybe scare. Yeah.
So that is almost all about that project in like a short recap, because you can even see the full project on our Behance profile or on our website, where you can explore all the different statues that we have created. As here, maybe we scrolled a bit too fast through the work, but let's hope you enjoy it. And except of that, we have been working on other different projects that this is only a single project that we create for our passion to create new stuff. And during the work in Lobster, we always focus to create, except of the commercial work, a good amount of studio-driven projects that we can still experiment, test, and just improve our perception and our skills, and just become better on the thing we do and enjoy, and just try to play with what we work, because if it's only work, it's not always fun. But anyway, having time to experiment, to do something cool without the boundaries of having that commercial work is always nice. But except of that, we work on many cool and interesting projects that we haven't shared yet. And here you can see just teasers of some of them. And for example, last year we worked on this amazing project that unlucky we can't yet share. That is on an enormous screen that is like 30 meters high or something like that in Dallas. And we created a couple of animated films for that project together with many talented artists. But for now, we can't show the full project. Let's hope that soon in that year we can discover more about that. And in the meantime, we continue to work on other passion projects and other commercial work that we would be sharing soon with you. And yeah, I think
that's all.
Yeah, overall, that's all. We try to stay really busy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Listen all that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That was cool. Very cool. We've already had a couple of questions in, which was about the sound. Sound clearly plays a very important part in what you do. Is that something you do in-house, or who's your sound designers, and who did all the sound on the Crooked animation stuff?
Yeah, on that project, and I can say, I think over last year, almost on at least the 90% of the project, we are not creating, let's say, in-house, but we have a strong partnership with Fabrizio Martini, that is a super talented sound designer that is almost that is part of the studio actually.
Yeah.
Then we love almost that all the time that on commercial projects the client allow us to do that, and in the personal project always we love to create like custom music for our project, because I think it's really important. More than half of the result. Give the right feel with the music and underline the emotion and create the atmosphere. Music is so important.
Yeah. No, it's crucial. It lifts everything you've done. I mean, looking through your portfolio, it's clear that you're passionate about the sound side of things.
Really?
Yeah. No, it stands out.
No, I'm just saying that we're really passionate. Sorry.
Yeah, it's and how do you juggle the sort of I mean, it's a question we'll come on to later, I'm sure, but how do you juggle the passion projects with the the paid client work?
Yeah, I think it's all about that we always try to find a way to balance it. And even in the last few years, we got that direction that we don't need to take every single project that comes towards us. And we decided to refuse a lot of things that we think that would be not the best work that we would create, and it would not have the best return for us. Then this helped us being able to focus on creating more things inside the studio that help us grow our taste, our abilities, and all that. Then I think selecting carefully what work we take is something that gave us that opportunity. But for sure, it's not something that happened really easy, and that took a lot of time till we reached that moment to be able to stay in the studio and be able to produce all that work, because we care about the creativity that we create, and the work is more important for us than everything. Then
even sometimes maybe we feel that when we focus only to do commercial, that I think happened that for some months or even maybe 1 year we focused on that. We feel that maybe we was not more able to grow, to experiment, to use and empower our languages or our visual, and then we feel that a balance over commercial and research is a must to even guarantee that what we do on commercial have a value, is something that is innovative, or at least that try to be the best thing that we can create.
Yeah, and even that this type of work is always recharging. Then when you create something that is all about creativity, that you have not restrictions, that is something that give you back a lot of positive charge. And even that in the last year, we are trying to collaborate with different artists outside of the studio, and we made a few wonderful collaborations, and hopefully we continue to create more, where we partner with different artists, and we create things that we enjoy. Then let's hope that is something we were able to continue in 2021 as well.
Well, especially now, I mean, collaboration around the world, isn't it? But I'm going to bring Daniele and Iria in and see what they think about. Hello. So, oh, you're both muted. Everybody does this, don't worry.
Hello.
I'm sure you're overhearing that. How do you guys cope with the sort of balance of, because I know it's something our studio, we everybody would rather be doing as much personal passion projects as they can do, but how do you juggle that?
We try to balance it out and take 50-50. One to pay the bills, one for the soul.
Yeah. One for the soul, essentially.
Yeah.
Well, every now and again, we do get the odd combination of passion and client project as well, which is
that is the best combination.
Well. It's the best combination. The project we're going to talk about now is one of those, essentially. Client, but we do get the passion. Yeah.
Very good. Let's jump into that because we can chat about this later. So thank you, Fausto and Nicola. I'll duck you out for now, and then so let's get your presentation up, and then we can hear more about what you're just chatting about. So, right, I'm going to duck out.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lobster Studio. I really loved your talk.
It was lovely.
Again, I'm Dani.
And I'm Iria, and together we are Wednesday Studio.
I'm just gonna skip through the show reel that we've already played. So yeah, Iria and I have been working together since about 2012, and over the years together we formed Wednesday Studio, and we're normally based in East London, which is where Iria is right now. And I wish I could be there. Iria will take it from here.
So today we want to walk you through the process of how we made one of our most recent favorite projects. It's called Music United's Herbie Hancock and Kamasi Washington in Conversation. So over a year ago, we were approached by Jonathan from Commotion to make a film for the LA Philharmonic for the centenary anniversary. The brief was they had some recordings for interviews of musicians and artists that had belonged or had worked in the LA Philharmonic in the past, and they wanted to bring them to life with animation. So we pitched, well, they had one of their conversations in that collection of recordings was between Herbie and Kamasi, and we totally loved it. So we pitched for that one, and they did like our pitch, so we got the job, and that made us really happy. The first thing we're gonna do is showing you the film, and then we'll talk through it.
I always say the sound is the one sense you can't turn off. That's like the fail-safe. Like, if all else fails, you'll hear each other. You know? And it's like music, because of that, it has that quality that, like, you know, and you can hate black people all you want, but when James Brown comes on and you feel that funk, you're not gonna hate him in that moment. You know what I mean? That moment, you're gonna just be like, ooh. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I go back to being the bigot when the song is on. You know,
that's funny.
I think that right now, music has a job to do right now. It's like, oh, y'all trying to tear everybody apart, but we gonna keep them together.
Oh, yeah. That's the wonderful thing about music and the arts in general, that it has within it the ability to point toward the beauty of people with varying experiences, various backgrounds, various religions, various cultures, and bringing us together to create something that no single one could create itself. You know, but when you put two people, different in many ways, put them together to create something, what comes out?
Oh.
Well, you can see the film in our Vimeo. We didn't expect it to get cut off. But yeah. The next thing we'll be talking about the story.
Yeah. Okay. So when we got the brief, it was totally open. So we were just given the audio file, and the rest was up to us on how we wanted to visualize it. So our only real limits were budget and time, because it was a small budget. This is why it was a passion project, but also a client project, which is a nice combination. So we jumped straight onto story, and the initial storyboards, the client was very on board. The only thing that we had a sort of a debate on the back and forth was the ending, which you didn't get to see, I'm sorry. Which the client had asked, well, their idea was to have a big spinning globe with hands holding, which we think the animation world has seen enough spinning worlds for now. So we suggested that we do a vinyl at the end. So we thought it was a really nice way to end the story. So we start in a recording studio where somebody is seeking shelter from the rain, and then you go through the whole story, and then at the end you have the outcome of the recording studio, which is a vinyl, and it's, you know, the result of people working together creatively, which is what the whole interview is about, what the whole conversation between the musicians is about. The other thing that that was important to us when we were coming up with the story was the laughter. So when Herbie and Kamasi are talking, there's these points where they have this amazing, really like lovely moments of laughter, and we wanted to visualize that in a abstract way, but also bringing in some musical elements and instruments into it. So that's what we did.
So for the style for the film, we after the animatic was approved, we decided, well, we designed the whole film based on the style frame that we had pitched, and the style frame, yeah. So this is the style frame we have pitched. We went for a very, very graphic look because of the budget restrictions. We knew from the beginning that we wanted to make this film in After Effects. As you can see, this style is very different to what you just saw on the animation, and we will explain the reasons why. So we pitched this style frame, it got approved, they really liked it, and we then, next, Danny, we then designed the rest of the film based on that, in this graphic, next again, in this graphic style that we wanted to animate with After Effects. But when we had designed the entire film, someone in the production department on the client's end came up and said, actually, we don't think this is the style we want for this project because it feels really 60s and 80s, and it looks like Saved by the Bell, and we want something like this. And they show us like a sketch of like some kind of drawing that was like pencil, like really rough, like something totally not what we were working on. Something totally impossible to do with After Effects, and also like nothing like what we were doing. So we were like, okay, right. We tried to save as much as we could from what we had done. So we kept all the layouts, and we came up with a middle ground between what we had done and what they wanted. So we redesigned our designs with a look that was a bit more textured, less graphic, the colors a bit less bright. It's still quite 80s in my opinion, but they thought it was very funky and fresh, and they loved it. So it was like, oh, okay, good. So we designed the whole film again in this new style. So these are some examples, like the frames that we just showed before, and this one. And actually, this is the end frame that you couldn't see because the film was cut off. So just to realize that this is the ending instead of the spinning globe with shaking hands that they were asking for.
Yeah, this is sort of how we took the new funky fresh style through from sketches, rough color, straight to animation. When we started animation, we realized that it was actually going to be now trickier than we originally planned for, because we wanted to do it initially in After Effects, and now we needed to incorporate some hand-drawn stuff. So we had to find somewhere in between. And this is how we took the James Brown scene kind of from the beginning, which is rough animation in Flash. And then we also used a silhouette to make it a little bit less time consuming. And then we did cleanup in Photoshop and the final in After Effects. And we did a lot of other elements like the hands and floating things, the lights, all in After Effects as well.
For music, we also have some problems with the clients. And then it's going to
yeah, we had a bit of a unexpected challenge with the music. So obviously we have this two wonderful musicians, and we were really excited to have their music on the video. And we were hoping to be able to use Herbie's music only because it was more mellow. It wasn't as busy, and they wouldn't fight as much with the voiceover, which is running throughout, and you need to hear as well. But halfway through the animation, the client handed us a track by Kamasi, which is lovely but really energetic. So it was a challenge for a sound designer to try to mix in with the voiceover, but also for us, we had to go back and reanimate a lot of the scenes that we'd already done with all of the musicians. So we had to retime the hand movement, the keys, and everything, which was a challenge, but we got there in the end, and we had a happy client, and we were happy ourselves too.
Yeah. So in the end, we finished the project. Everybody loved it. We were happy to finally go through all the notes and make something that we also loved. And we advertised it in our social media, and Herbie Hancock started liking all our posts in Instagram, and that made us so happy. Like, oh my God. Well, it was probably Herbie Hancock team behind the Instagram account, but still, we were like super thrilled. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, they contacted our reps in the States to offer us to pitch for a music video for Herbie Hancock. And that was so amazing to us. So we obviously went for it. The pitch was for the song called Cantaloupe Island. It's one of his most famous songs that he made in 1964. And for this one, we went for a style that is a lot more cartoony. We inspired ourselves in the UPI cartoons styles from the 50s, 60s. But we gave it a bit of a modern touch to keep it more into our own style. And because we did the pitch during lockdown, we made a lockdown-inspired film. We are going to show it now for the first time to an audience. It hasn't been released yet, and it won't be on the YouTube channel because it's going to be cut out after this talk. So for those who are around, enjoy it, and we hope you like it.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for having us.
We can't wait to be able to go to gigs.
Thank you so much, and apologies again for whatever happened at the end of that previous clip. So,
well, that film is on our Vimeo.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I hope people can go there and watch it.
It deserved the full play, but I think I'm not used to 5 people. There's too many buttons going on here, so it's freaking me out. So just get everybody back in, and then that last piece, which everybody watching this back won't like because it'll be edited out, but superb job. I mean, how was the process with that? Because you were talking about the previous job, which sounded like a bit of a nightmare in terms of suddenly them changing we've all been there, changing the designs midway through, changing the music midway through. How was this one?
It was a nightmare, but it was somehow, that one was a nightmare, but it was somehow still fun because we loved that conversation between Kamasi and Herbie and so much that we were so happy to do it that it didn't feel as painful as when you do commercial work that is more like, actually also at the beginning I was worried that I would not like the film after we finished it because in my head I had pictured it with the other style, and now I'm so happy they changed it. I think it's better like it is now than it would have been.
Yeah, I remember we were resistant because we'd been seeing it all the way through in one way, and then to change it all of a sudden, but now we like it more so.
I'm also
happy. It wasn't painful. It was just a slower process than we expected.
I'm also happy about the ending. I mean, I know people haven't seen it in this book, but the ending we came up with was so simple and so nice, and it feels so poetic. And they wanted a globe with shaking hands, which we were like, oh my God, I hope they don't make us do that. No. This, this thing was basically they allow us to do anything, we could visualize, they didn't give us any cue on what they want us to do. But after we showed them the first animatic, they were like, what about a spinning world with a shake, handshake at the end? We were like, oh no, please. But no, they were good. They agreed on the vinyl player.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell, that they've allowed you to do an awful lot with that, and it's great to get a client like that.
Yeah, and the next one was the same. They only gave us the song, do whatever. It was totally everything up to us.
Cool.
Right.
It's really amazing. Yeah.
I know. We were surprised too. We're like, really? Okay, amazing.
I love the song even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the result is great, and it's possible to see that you had fun on that.
I love that little touches of that thumb that goes out of the shoe, and the ice cream is my favorite.
That kiss, oh my God. Because everybody's in lockdown, not wanting to touch each other. So we had all these ideas let's kiss, like everything you are in theory not allowed to do right now. Let's do it. Everything together, everybody together, kissing each other, eating pizza.
That is the great thing of animation and not of live footage, because you can do whatever you want.
Exactly.
There's no lockdown in animation, is there? That's the beauty.
Yeah.
I've had a question come in where somebody's saying about it applies to both of you, but it was directed at you, Daniele and Iria, which was about how lovely the motion flow is in your work. and they said, do you get this from developing the animatics, or do After Effects plugins have more of an influence?
We develop it a lot in the animatics in terms of like transitions from scene to scene.
Yeah, the flow.
Yeah, that's
The transition.
definitely animatic.
Everything is planned on the animatic.
Yeah, because it's actually something like even like before animatic, even when we do our really rough thumbnails that are so rough that only we can decipher it. Like we're thinking of all the transitions there, and then try to work out how we're actually going to make them.
Yeah. And how about you, Fausto and Nikolai? What's your process to that?
Yeah, almost the same. I really depend even on commercial project, even on the client when there are different needs, but we try to solve all in the animatic when it's possible, and it's like so important. More that you can define in the early stage, better is it to go on smooth and already pitch perfectly what will be the final result.
Mm. And I noticed some of yours, you're bringing 3D in, aren't you, into your pipeline?
Yeah, it's
a new challenge.
Something new. Yeah, it's something new, but yeah, was in our back of the mind from some time. As shared during the project presentation, is something that is back in our roots. We wanted from some time to try to bring back it. It's challenging even because we are fighting with that, because we always love to play a lot with the ideas and to focus less on the production part. And 3D is the opposite, because I need a lot of
preparation,
rendering time, setup, bigger production. And then it's something that we are really motivated and thrilled, because we know the possibility, and even we have a lot of things that we want to create with a next step on the visual style that we usually do. But even we want to find the middle ground where we can stay fresh and fast to create things, and where the idea anyway remain the main thing, and the storytelling, the narration, and not to slow down too much that maybe we get bored of an idea that we are creating, or we stuck on a production. Then yeah, we are researching the middle ground on that.
I think especially as we've got you guys sort of in different countries, it seems that we must discuss the remote working thing, and how we're all like, all studios now have got used to remote working. You two had obviously started it a little bit earlier than most of us.
Yeah, actually for us it didn't make a lot of difference on the daily work, because we were used to. Other than anyway, we still have the physical studios, and we have the team that in Sofia we're the team that's focused on the animation part, and Fausto is focusing on the conceptual and illustration part. And where he is, then I think we still interact physically, but also even digitally.
So you have the different studios doing different parts of the. You're strictly separate, are they? Each studio has a different part of it.
Yeah, at the moment, it's not something that is a must. I think happened a bit naturally during how we was developing. We still like day by day focusing what will be the next step, how we'll organize and divide things. For sure, at the moment, something that anyway we miss a lot is the occasion to can meet up together. Then even if it was really usual to work in that way, we feel that in that moment it's even more difficult to be separated and have the studio separated, but be not able to meet up two times for each year or something like that. And that I think on the daily work is something that we can feel. But yeah, we was already trained.
Ahead of the curve. How have you found it, Iria? What's been the difference for you?
Working remotely, Danny and I, well, actually, we usually always work next to each other, but but I think it's been okay. I mean, we had worked remotely with other people before the pandemic and everything. Like, we tend to hire friends that, like, talented animators that we know personally, and they live wherever. We met them in London, and then they moved wherever, and we still work with them. So we are used to have people working remotely anyway. But I don't know. I mean, obviously, I like the face-to-face thing just because it's more human, but I don't think it affects the work. I think if people are motivated, keen, and talented, the work is going to be fine. It doesn't matter if it's in the same room or remotely.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think for us, maybe the fact that we know most of the people that we work with remotely, so we already had that relationship built in a way. Maybe it made things a little bit easier to begin with, but I think, I see no issues with the remote working going forwards. I guess I do miss being able to pop down for a coffee with Iria.
Did you use video as much? I bet you didn't do this as much before with your remote workers, did you?
No, actually, but we are always plugged in, not only for work. Like, we are always talking to each other about everything. So day and night, oh, how are you? So it doesn't feel like we haven't seen each other.
Yeah, that's good. You're doing something right, because I mean, I think our industry is very lucky in terms of everyone I've spoken to. You know, we're used to just sending files around and working like this. It's
for sure.
I mean, like you said, Fausto, you miss actually coming together. You know, let's hope it's not like it's permanently, but
yeah, that a bit for sure. And even I think maybe anyway, I'm visiting Genova in Italy. That is a middle-sized city. I'm sure it's different, like to be maybe in London, that where anyway you feel the industry or people that you work together and you're usual. Then
the community is probably bigger.
Yeah, I maybe in this moment I miss a bit of what is the part of my work that even you are usual, like to live in the festival or with the studio and all that part. But I think overall we are pretty lucky and all worked super smooth during that like rough time, and I think the daily life is going on.
Yeah, even a funny thing is that just before the Corona started, me and Fausto managed to meet in Italy on a festival. It was just in the start of February last year. And that was a really lucky occasion because we had created a graphics package for the Interaction Design Week back then, and then we met on the event, and it was an event full of many people from around the world, and luckily there was no problem. Then
it was the last occasion
just before being locked.
I think sorry, no, go on, Fausto.
No, just that is just a side thing on the Crooked project that started before the pandemic. We worked together with a really close collaborator that we have that is based in China. And during the project, say, sorry, I take a break. That is the Chinese New Year, and I go to Philippine Island to take a small vacation. And then when he go to Philippine Island, he never been able to come back to China. And then spend 1 year that he came back to Italy and never be allowed to come back because they closed the flights. And it was even a project that started in China and then finished in Italy because he moved back.
Luckily now he's back there.
He just managed to be back in Shanghai.
Somebody posted a question about the AR Instagram, the Crooked Collection thing. Just saying, what was the process for? I mean, obviously it'd be very in depth, but can you briefly touch on what the process was for those Instagram effects pieces?
Yeah, for that specifically was let's say easy because we had already like all the 3D models, and the project was a bit tricky that we discovered on the going when we after that, we decided to not create the statue, and we wanted to create that that filter for Instagram. That we moving to Spark, that is a software
Spark AR.
Spark AR that is powered by Facebook, where you import just the training model, but you need to recreate inside the software a simplified rig that give you the permission to animate. Then you have a lot of restriction for sure, at least for how we explore that software. But you rig again the character, and then you can create animation inside. It's mostly with coding. You recreate some animation inside, and then you just upload for Instagram approbation, and then it go live. And I think it's really funny to use directly and see that thing on every background. Yeah, I think the first day that we charged that, we played like a full day with that character around.
Yeah, even a good thing is that it's not only a must to be a 3D, you can use any 2D artwork to implement in that app, which is really good.
Quite nice seeing somebody else playing with your work.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying it's quite nice seeing somebody else playing with what you've created, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
and we even before that we started to create all because we create a lot of loopable GIFs that we create for the ED, for play, for everything, and we decided even to use them like stickers on Instagram, and they became a really fun part of our stories. And when we share something, we always use them, and it's another way to share work is to create stickers for Instagram. That is really easy by uploading on Giphy. Then that is another option as well.
Very good. So the final thing, just because final question from me was just sort of, because we get quite a lot of students coming to watch this, just sort of how you guys started out. Sort of, you both set up studios with people. What was your sort of path into that briefly, Dani and Iria? What was your sort of, what brought you together, and where had you been before that?
So we met at the National Film and Television School, where we were doing our masters in animating direction. And Dani finished 1 year before me. We both helped each other briefly on our graduation films. And when I graduated, Dani was working on a studio doing animation for children apps. And she sent an email to our school saying, we need people. So I went there. And while we were there, both of us, I mean, it wasn't the job of our dreams, really. So we kind of like decided that we needed to step out of it somehow and find a different path. And you know, when you just graduated and you don't really know how to get your way out, being two makes things less scary and more fun.
Yeah. So let's hold hands and jump together. We can do this.
Let's hold hands and jump to the boys together. So basically, yeah, Dani got her first directing job, and I helped her. Then I got my first directing job, and she helped me. And then on the third one, we decided to do it together as directors. And that went really well. So then we started with Wednesday. It was a Wednesday. We were trying to come up with an interesting name.
It took so long, and we're like, you know what?
Wednesday. Oh my God.
We had to have that talk yesterday.
I love those stories. I love it when names come like that.
Yeah. On a Wednesday was born.
Yeah, and then anyway, I think a lovely thing of your brand is all the nice logo animation that you have done, and I think it's wonderful. Yeah. We want to see more of this.
Oh, thank you.
Well, your work is amazing too. We were a bit scared, to be honest. Like, oh,
yeah, we're watching your talk. We're like, wow, we love this stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, I thought you both complement each other really well. It's sort of there's something there in both of you which you know, reminiscent of each other, which is why I thought it'd be a good.
Yeah, definitely would be cool. I'd like to do even some collaboration or things.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
you heard it here first.
Then we have to animate each other's logo.
Got a new
that
challenge.
could be cool. animating the lobster.
How did you, Nikolai and Fausto, how did you start out and how did you end up joining together?
Yeah, we met on a very interesting way that I think, if I remember correct, I maybe commented something on Fausto's project on Behance, if I remember correct, and then out of that...
Yeah, we was early starter of the remote work. We was early starter of the online dating. Then we just met commenting something on Behance.
I think Fausto told me that it's not, because I asked something that was like, I don't remember well. Was it like what software?
I think now we got in contact before. We was in contact from a bit. Then Nick just commented after some studios, just yeah, cool. Watch my portfolio.
Yeah.
And then we started to become friends. When I say Nick, I think that thing is not like seeing like too much good if you go and comment and spam. Like, go to look browse my portfolio, and then
that was
after this, and after we start to be more close, to we propose each other to maybe do something together. Then we started with early short film, but that we had the luck that being selected to
a film festival.
And then we got the first occasion to meet up together in real life at that film festival. I think since then we started we became a really friend, and we started to do freelance job together.
Yeah.
And we went on, I think, for around 2-3 years or something like that. And then we had the idea to try to collaborate with other people. Mm-hmm. And when we arrived to that point, we started without a name, nothing. I think we continue how we was working, just freelance, but we felt that anyway it was a limitation, was even difficult for people and for all the team to feel part of something. Then we started to define a brand that became Ed Lobster.
Yeah, but even because it's something that is uniting the team under something that is like representing the thing we do, because it's anyway the purpose. And yeah, we just started like that, and it was like just by a comment.
We started again with a short film that was weird. That is our fourth film as a studio. That we had again the luck that being selected from a lot of film festivals, and then that was the occasion to really start as a studio, get noticed in the industry, and get commercial jobs.
Yes.
And we are here now.
That's not luck. It's not luck when you make a film like Weird, and then that's just because it's a super.
I think we've been just lucky to meet each other and to have the same the same directions for how we would like to approach work and what we would like to create, and just for our thoughts about everything. Then we managed to align really easy for a lot of stuff.
Right.
I think the way that you put it, you said it's like dating essentially. That is.
Yeah, it's kind of dating.
And you find a good match, and you're like, oh, well, we have
a love story. It's a beautiful love story.
First love.
Right, we're going to call it a night there, I think. So just going to say thank you very much to you all for joining us and for giving up your time. So really appreciate that. And I'm sure the audience have as well. We've had some lovely comments coming through.
Thank you for having us.
No, thank you. Just very quickly, I'll just mention what we've got coming up. Our next one's in April. We've got Builders Club and Art and Graph, 2 London studios. But the reason I've got those in for April is they've been working on some sort of animation to do with live events, sort of more interactive, more sort of game-based stuff, which is very relevant to now because obviously physical events aren't happening. So they've been getting involved in that sort of world. So that'll be quite interesting. So,
okay, then we'll be sure to follow the next one.
Yeah,
Yes.
do. It'd be great to have you there, and then do keep in touch and
Definitely.
stay safe. And
You too. Thank you.
You too.
and yeah, and have a great 2021.
Thank you.
You
You too.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.